This video is sponsored by Brilliant. Hey pirates, welcome back. This time I'm going to talk about the remaining two things I did to land my first time software engineering job. This is a continuation from the first episode here, so check it out if you haven't already. The second thing I did to eventually land a full-time sweet job is doing programming as a side hustle or a part-time job. Now, a number of you might be wondering whether it's even possible to get a part-time software engineering job. Let me tell you up front, it is possible and I've done it already. In fact, I did it in multiple other countries, including the US, South Korea, and Japan. I don't see why it might not be available in your country. For example, in the US, I'm currently working part-time as a software engineering mentor at two startups. In South Korea, I worked as an IT admin for a few months. In Japan, I worked as a game developer for a mid-sized game company in Tokyo, Japan for 6 months. All of which involved some kind of programming, helped me grow while learning and earning money at the same time, and elevated my chance of landing a full-time job eventually. It's the last one that I'm going to talk about now, the part-time role as a game developer in Japan. But before we talk about getting jobs, if anyone wants to learn about a fun and interactive way to learn computer science or any other STEM subjects, you should check out Brilliant. Did you know that the best way to learn anything is by doing it yourself? Learn interactively with Brilliant's fun, hands-on lessons in math, science, and computer science. Interactive learning helps you learn 6 times more effectively than watching lecture videos. There are more than 60 courses to choose from, and my favorite is the course on data structures. It's done a brilliant job of explaining the fundamentals of data structure and algorithms in the most enjoyable and engaging fashion. If you're interested in learning about DSA in general, or looking to improve your understanding of it, this course is a great place to start. The good news is that you can get started for free. Not to mention that the first 200 subscribers to sign up through my link get 20% off your annual premium subscription. So make sure to check it out in the descriptions and comments below. Back to my experience in Japan, let me first give you a brief summary of what I did there. So I went to Japan after graduating Carnegie Mellon University to learn game development because back then, my dream was to become a game developer. I stayed there for 2 years, spent 1 year learning the language, 6 months learning game development, and the remaining 6 months working part-time as a game developer. Before I started a part-time role, I also worked at a Japanese ramen restaurant for about 10 months. More on that later. But then, how did I land a part-time developer job? As I explained in my earlier video, by building projects. The interviewers were impressed with my award-winning game project, Spike. A few days after the interview, they offered me a part-time game developer role which was paid hourly. Now, here are the 3 reasons why a part-time job is important. 1. Career. I asked you guys to treat a project as an unpaid professional work earlier. A part-time job is a paid job, so it is indeed a professional work. The most important thing any recruiters look for in your resume is work history, and a part-time job is a work experience. Whether you work 3 days a week or 6 hours a day, doesn't matter. You only state the starting and the ending month of your work history in your resume, so others won't even know. It still speaks a lot more than your personal project because you are paid for your professional service. If my award-winning game project helped me land my first part-time job, my first part-time job helped me land my first full-time job at eBay in South Korea. Considering how eBay was back then the dominant e-commerce company in South Korea, it was a pretty decent place to work for your first job. 2. Growth. This is especially true for college graduates or first-time job seekers in this industry. Your primary goal and focus should always be your growth, not money. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should allow yourself to be underpaid. My point is, concentrate on your growth in the early stages of your career. For example, before I started the part-time developer role, I worked at a Japanese ramen restaurant for 10 months. I was paid 1,000 yen or about $10 US per hour. Guess how much I was paid for my game developer job? 800 yen or about $8 per hour. Yes, I actually earned less by working as a developer, but I still took the position. Why? Because I did not want to lose the opportunity to grow as a software engineer while getting paid. That leads to the third and the last point. 3. Money. How great is getting paid while learning? That's the mindset I had. I had no prior work experience, my Japanese was imperfect, I was a foreigner, and someone was willing to pay that little boy for learning in their company. Try to think of your part-time job as an opportunity to learn and grow while getting paid. Draw a comparison with college. You don't get paid to learn there. It's the opposite. You pay to learn. However, in a company, even if you're spending most of your time learning, you still get compensated for your time. In summary, a part-time software engineering job is a tremendous opportunity for you to learn and grow. Look for one so that you can put that experience in your resume. Alright, now let's talk about the third and last thing I did to land my first full-time job, and it is internship. In total, I've done 2 internships throughout my career, and only one of them was a paid internship. Yes, I wasn't paid for the other one. In fact, the non-paid internship, which I didn't include in my resume for obvious reasons, is actually my very first professional software engineering work in my career. But then, why did I do an internship without ever getting paid? Remember what I said earlier? Because I truly believe that growth should be my top priority, especially in the early stages of my career. I was desperate for an opportunity to grow, desperate for something that I can write down on my resume. My first job search was a total failure as I never heard back from anyone, but I didn't want to give up, so I asked around to see whether I can work for free. And I was able to find a 6-week non-paid internship at a small game company. The other internship was at a game company called NCSoft. It's the biggest game company in South Korea, famous for creating the MMORPGs, Lineage, Ion, Blade and Soul, and Guild Wars. This was the last professional work I did before landing a full-time job. The company's name value was decent enough to help me get a job at eBay, the #1 e-commerce giant in South Korea, back about 8 years ago. In summary, here are the 3 things you can do to help you land a software engineering job. They are 1. Projects. Treat your project as an unpaid professional work. 2. Work part-time. It's an awesome opportunity to learn and grow while getting paid. Lastly, 3. Internships. Try to leave a good impression and you'll get a return offer. But do you see how my experiences are chained together? The non-paid internship helped me establish the foundation in game development. The skills I learned then helped me create an award-winning game project. The award led me to a part-time job. The part-time job helped me get a real internship. The internship was recognized by my first employer, eBay, then Amazon, then Microsoft, and now this. So that's it, guys. I hope this advice is helpful in advancing your career. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.